If you want to get a lot of leads for your construction business, you need to be using social media. So in this video, I'm going to be guiding you through the full process of using social media to get qualified leads. After watching this, your perspective on social media will probably shift. By the way, I'm Derek. I've helped 10 contractors scale up to 5 million in revenue. I've also systemized 30 construction companies, and I implement this stuff all the time. First thing we need to understand is the game of social media. It is really about building trust with your clients. You're going to be awareness, so you want to be top of mind. Yes, you can generate leads directly from social media, but a lot of it is being able to nurture leads and bring awareness to your brand and keep you top of mind for clients or people that are already interested in the services that you already have, whether it's building, remodeling, whatever it may be. And you want to create demand. You want to feel like a premium builder speaking to your ideal client, and that you've got a lot of demand for your services, which makes you more attractive to other people that are finding you on social media. It also does help for search engine optimization. So SEO services will be able to be boosted by social media. It really helps tie in everything else you're doing. It's just another facet of your marketing strategy, whether you're very much heavy on Google Ads or SEO or email marketing. Social media will help build up all of your other marketing channels, can be a real focal point. And then you want to be the trusted expert. When people see you on social media, trust, genuine, honest, and be an expert in your field. This is a key differentiator, and it can feel good. There's vanity metrics, which are, the amount of views you get and things like that, or followers, all that kind of stuff. But really, if 10, 20, 100 of the right people are seeing your content, you don't need thousands of clients every year unless you're doing, hundreds of millions of dollars in home sales or something like that. You really just need to find the right people at the right moment, and that's what you want to gear your social media towards. Your content shouldn't just be random either. You want to make sure that it is specific to certain people, and you want to be using it for lead generation. What's going to help either boost the trust that you have or get people to reach out to you. You don't want to be doing just random pics of, job sites that are going on, or the team lunch of your guys eating pizza wherever, right? We will go through what to actually post and what posts look like, but essentially you need to stand out and you need to give people something that they can kind of bite into besides just a bunch of pictures of what you got going on. Educational content works great for this. Being that trusted advisor, trusted expert, tell people why this material is better than that material. Tell them why a client came to you and the problems that they had and why they went forward with your services. Be that educational component. People are going to get a lot more value out of that, and they're going to feel a lot more inclined to reach out to you and ask you more about your services. Other types of educational content can just literally be frequently asked questions. How do I find the right contractor? How do I know the contractor is going to do a good job? How do I start planning my project? Any kind of frequently asked questions. How much is this going to cost? That's a huge one, right? That a lot of contractors don't want to put social media content out on. You don't have to say specifics, but if you can answer their questions before they have to ask you, they're going to be like, wow, this person gets me, and they're going to want to reach out. The second step to having an amazing social media presence is picking your platform. So as you know, there's lots of different social medias out there every day. Seems like new ones are cropping up, but there are really established players in this game. And you should be picking one main platform to start with if you're just getting started, or choose the one that your clients are most likely using. And if you're not sure, ask them. Ask your clients, hey, have you seen us on any of our social media? What social media are you on most? And I would say for the majority of builders, Instagram, because it's so visually effective, is probably the number one pick. Or Facebook has a little bit older demographic, but Instagram works really well. You can put high quality photos. You can have good interactions there. And I find that you can also grow an Instagram channel faster than like a Facebook page. Facebook is also another good option. It is, if you're targeting an older demographic, those older type clients often trust Facebook a little more. Instagram still feels like a young thing for them, even though it's been around for a long time. But with all of these social media platforms, what may have seemed like more young and new to you is now the age demographics are just going lower and lower, if you will. There's more kind of older people now on Instagram, and then you can move into like Twitter and TikTok where you've got maybe younger generations, but I wouldn't rule any of them out. Like I mentioned, start with one, keep that one strong, but you can essentially reuse the same type of content or even just the same content across multiple channels. So my recommendation is where you want to get to is having at least profiles set up on all the different social media channels. You don't necessarily need to be pumping out content on every single channel, but you should at least have a channel for your business for every major social media platform out there. The reason being is that it helps for SEO, and you never know which type of clients are going to resonate with which social media platforms. And you never know as well which social media platforms are going to start to become stronger or weaker. So getting started early just gives you kind of a leg up if all of a sudden some of these maybe newer social media platforms become more established. And of course, the last one I'm going to mention specifically here is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is fantastic for reaching out to professionals as well as business to business type, situations. So social media, yes, you want to bring in clients, but it's also for all the professionals out there. So your subcontractors, they're going to see your social media content and they're going to get a feel. You're going to have better relationships with them or easier to have good subcontractors reach out to you. And then designers, real estate agents, all of those types of, developers and things like that. If you have a good LinkedIn profile and some nice content there, you can reach out more to these people and actually have not just create, single leads coming in, but relationships with professionals that can provide referral leads to you. And when you show up a certain way, people get interpretation of you and your brand and your business. And a designer or a real estate agent, if you look the part, they're going to want to refer more people to you. So it is important not to neglect some of the more professional social media like LinkedIn. So I mentioned getting set up on a bunch of different social media platforms. I'm going to be showing you the foundation now of setting up these profiles in the right way. So this is a client of ours that we've worked with for a little while now, and they have a really good Instagram presence. As you can see, quite a few followers. It looks very clean. It's organized. You can see that the content is branded well. It's very consistent. It's showing finished products. This is a very big thing. Yes, I'm okay with clients or builders showing some in-process builds and things like that. It's cool. It's interesting for generate clients. But the thing is, people are hiring you not for a framed or concrete pour or, putting baseboard on in their kitchen. They're hiring you for a nice finished product that looks beautiful, that they can imagine like showing their friends and just really enjoying the space. So you want to be showing finished, completed projects. Another thing is too, as I mentioned, educational type content. You don't want to just be like, hey, look at our new project, or hey, look at this nice kitchen, right? Yeah, good, but you got to give them a little bit of something to latch onto, and the more that they can be interactive with the content, the better. So ask them a question, have a call to action. In this case, talk about the project. I had an old outdated house. The kids moved out now and they really wanted to have this beautiful kitchen that they can entertain, grandkids when they come over or whatever, right? So tell a little bit of the story of the project, some of the unique features, something to think about, like, this waterfall side to the island here, or we went with, a flat surface countertop for easy cleaning into the sink, whatever it may be. Tell them your experience of why they went with certain design elements, whatever it may be. This is what people are going to be looking for. The other thing I wanted to mention is utilize the full extent of the platform. So you can see, Giannis here, he's got all of these little extra things here. I don't know what everything specifically is called, but utilize whatever kind of features, additional stuff that it's got, and then make sure that all of your information is correct. Have your website, if you can have your phone number. Eastern Western has here, design, build, renovations, custom homes, 25 years experience, 100 plus happy customers, clients, whatever it may be. Have your location, everything very clear. One kind of feedback on this is I like to see the owner's face on the profile picture. I think it builds trust and familiarity, and it doesn't look like this is just another company like all the other companies, right? So I would say put your face, don't use your logo for the profile picture. Put the actual owner's face or whoever's kind of the face of the company. Unless you have a massive company brand, in that case, maybe I could see putting your logo there, but any any typical contractor under 10 million, the owner is still very much the face of the company, and there should be that familiar face on there. The other one I'm going to point out here is a Facebook page, another client of ours that recently started working with us. And you can see here they have nice finished kitchen. It's really, if you know their style of home and the designs that they do, this is like very much speaks to their demographic. And so they got the beautiful picture. Again, I would prefer a face on the profile picture, but at the very least, it should have the logo and look very clean. This is a new page, but you can always share these pages out with your email list, with new people. Put little pro tip here in your email signature at the bottom of your emails, put your social media links there. You don't have to do like 20 different links, but if Instagram and Facebook are your big ones, or LinkedIn, put like 2 to 3 social media links at the bottom so people get your emails like, oh, they got a social media page, they go check you out. It's just another way to kind of get some more followers and things like that. Here again, some additional things they should have in here is their location, and just make sure you're using all the details, all the about, the photos, like everything that you can set up. Make sure there's something there for people to kind of dig into, and you're utilizing everything that you got here. But nice finished photos, as you can see, and really nice job of kind of setting this up. More copy is better, so make it succinct and have a call to action as well of like, reach out to us. Like here, they've got, over 30 years experience. Fantastic. I would like to see right in there, like contact us or visit our website, book a free consultation call, something like that. You always want to give people kind of the next step that you want them to take. Now, I'm about to show you how to make content that generates qualified leads. It's very important to learn. But before that, click the link in the description to apply for our coaching program where we help you grow your company and build modern systems throughout your business. One of the big complaints about social media, especially the online advertising, like we do Facebook, Instagram ads, things like that, is that the lead quality is low. You get people reaching out, they're not qualified, and they just saw your ad, so they clicked on it. This is what you need to understand. There are 3 layers or levels to your sales funnel or your lead gen funnel that will make sure that the right qualified leads are getting to you and that they're warm, ready to buy, ready to learn more. So you've got your top of the funnel. This is wide content that you make, things that you are going to kind of cast a wide net with, people that are just interested in building or want to see something cool, some of that educational style content. These are often like reels, very, nice looking, cool projects and things like that. It just gets people interested, even if they're maybe not thinking of building. Then you've got your middle of funnel. This stuff is more about your process, how your company works, maybe sharing some details about your company as far as like the people or what it's like working with your company. Then you got the bottom of the funnel. This is like client testimonials, very specific about, the kind of social proof. And for people that are really trying to make that final decision of like, is this a company? Do they work with people like me? Do I really want to reach out? And that bottom of the funnel content is really going to show them like, yes, there's, we've worked with these people. They had amazing results. This is a company that's right for you. There's a lot of like ideas and different ways of doing content. And I'll be going over like the system and how to put this all together. So you as the owner aren't constantly having to, post every day. But essentially what you want to be doing with your content is finding winners. So if you have a reel or post that just like did really well or much better than the other ones, really resonated, or not always that it just made the biggest impact as far as like views, but also that maybe someone reached out or they mentioned it, like one of your clients, like, hey, I really like that post that you did about, that family that had this home, or that new build that you just did, like that looked amazing. So if you're getting feedback or high number of views, something that performed really well, you should consider turning that into an ad. Facebook and Instagram ads are some of the cheapest ads that you can get for exposure and for leads when they are set up right. So each ad should have a call to action. You'll get a free consultation, download our free guide. The instant like reach out, it works for them to like schedule a call with you, things like that. And you can have a form to essentially qualify leads, like when you're thinking of building, what's your budget, whatever. And you can dial that up or down depending on how many people you want reaching out and how many like qualified people that you want reaching out. Another great method is to have some sort of free giveaway. And you need to have like a CRM and some setup behind this for it to be effective. And I'll be telling you about that later. But essentially, there's going to be some sort of free guide, free video or whatever. They're going to click on it. They're going to put in their email. It's It's going to be super easy for them. They're going to get it. And then they can use the guide to plan their home or get the top 10 things or risks there are when hiring a new contractor, whatever it may be, right? So these perform really well. When you set the ad, you want to be very specific for your location because, of course, you don't want to be wasting money having ads that are being put in like adjacent cities or areas or even like neighborhoods that you don't service. So make sure that you are very like setting the location very precisely. Now, a lot of marketers will also say that you need to set demographics and that's how you improve the lead quality. That used to be the case and that used to be very important. Nowadays with AI and just how good the algorithm is and how much information Facebook and Instagram has on someone, you do not need to set really specific demographics. Like, you used to have to set their income level, their family type, their, interests and hobbies, all this kind of stuff. I would suggest if you want to like A/B test that, go ahead. But if your ad copy is really good and you have a good like lead magnet or lead offer and you're talking specifically to certain types of people in a certain location, that you can have the right feedback loops that Facebook will know specifically who to target. Even if they don't have all the information, you'll get better leads at a lower cost when you don't set too many parameters. Location, yes. Demographics, not as important. And there is some setup here because you do want Facebook to know which leads are good and which ones converted to sales and how much and all that kind of stuff. That takes a bit of time. But for the time being, just to get your costs down, don't set too many demographics. Beauty of ads is you can dial it up and down. So if you're super busy and you're like, I can't handle anymore, you can, decrease your ad spend a little bit. Some might say, never do that. Or you can just make your qualifying questions better. So you're really only getting like the top of the top. Or if things are slow, you can kind of ramp up. But there's always that up and down lead cycle. So I wouldn't adjust your budget too much. Pick a budget and run with it. What you do want to do is make sure that you're A/B testing constantly. So I would suggest having probably about 10 at least variations of different ads. So you're going to maybe have 3 different pictures or videos, and then you're going to have different copy and different headlines for every single one. And each one talk to a different pain point. So one could be kids moved out, need my forever home, aging in place, something like that. Maybe you're going for that angle. Or maybe you want to go for an angle of, recently moved to the city looking for some place to build or whatever it may be, whatever that pain is, expanding your family. Does your house feel cramped and outdated and you want to, get something with some more space? So figure out like a pain point or a reason why someone, gets your service in the first place, and then put ads to like a few different of those different pain points. And then in each one have variations of the title, picture, all that stuff that I mentioned. You'll see early on, depending on how much ad spend you have, but let it run for a month or two. And then what you do is Facebook and Instagram, like the Meta Ads Manager, will automatically kind of put spend to the places that are performing best, but you start to prune out the ones that don't work. So this one's not getting much, traction. The cost per lead is very, very low. Another key tip, just while I'm thinking about it, is you don't want cost per click. Nobody cares about clicks, right? If you're telling it, I want lots of clicks just so people get to my website, they'll just get anybody who's going to click on an ad, right? You want cost per result. And the result should be them filling out a form, getting a free consultation, whatever it may be, so that you are priming it and Facebook knows like it's not who clicks, it's who's actually a qualified buyer that's going to reach out. And that's what you want to go for. A lot of A/B testing, and that's the beauty of ads, is you can always be adding more. So I would say probably about every month, at least every 2 months, add a few new ads in the mix, prune out the old ones, and you can always kind of try new things and see which ones perform well. When you got a winner, just boost that one and you're golden essentially. The final thing I'm going to mention about like putting content out is consistency is really key. If you're going to do once per week, do once per week. If you're going to do 3 times per week, which I would suggest is get 3 shorts, little videos out every week. It's really not overly difficult. You don't need some amazing setup. Many phones nowadays are good enough for your basic content. When you finish a project, hire a photographer, get a nice camera, and actually shoot some proper video and photos so that you have those from finished projects. But sort of your everyday content, you don't need something amazing, but you do need to be very consistent with it. There's also AI editors out there nowadays, so you can find AI editing tools online. You put your video, it'll add the subtitles. Make sure you're adding subtitles to any videos because a lot of people are, out and about and they don't maybe have the volume on their phone, so they want to be able to read it. And the AI can automatically kind of clip them. It can add or optimize the sound. It can add the subtitles. It makes it super easy. Now, the thing that we are all about is how to scale and scale with systems. So the way to scale content is figure out what works and do more of that. So you always want to be, trying some new things, but essentially when you hit on topics or things that people are really interested in, do more of those videos. So if you talk about pricing for a new home and you're like, wow, that video did really well, talk about pricing for the pre-construction of a home or, a luxury home as opposed to whatever, right? So figure out what works and double down on it, as well as ads. As I mentioned, once you find a winner ad, boost the ad spend for that ad and just continue to figure out what works and go down with that. For the system, I would hire a virtual assistant or have your office admin create a standard operating procedure, something quick, have a training video of you on the screen or whoever does your social media. This is how you post a video. This is how you go to Canva or something like that to make the post. This is use the AI editor that we use, whatever, right? It is, right? So that you can essentially hand that off. You will still probably do videos of yourself or take videos of the sites potentially, depending on the size of your company and who's running it, so that you are only responsible essentially for making the content. You send it to your team, they schedule it, they produce it, they do the write-ups, all that kind of stuff. With AI nowadays, it's so easy. As long as you have like brand guidelines or like a niche client profile of ideal clients and things like that, you can run with this and you can hand it off to somebody else. The other thing is with any type of lead, but especially social media leads, is reach out to them right away. So if they sign up for a free consultation or if they sign up for some freebie, give them a call, say, hey, thanks for signing up, and try to get them on the phone as quick as you can. If you can reach your leads within a few minutes, it increases the closing rate up to 40% for sales. This seems like a large amount for just being responsive quickly, but essentially it really shows professionalism. You talk to them right in the moment, because right when they click that button to reach out to you or to get your ad thing, whatever it may be, they're in the warmest mindset, and it's easiest for you to then start talking to them because they're already thinking about this stuff, to talk with them about it and get them scheduled for the next thing, whatever that is, in-home consultation or, like a preliminary budget or whatever it may be. Now, this whole process can definitely be systemized. You have, again, some sort of person that reaches out on the phone and they're just kind of qualifying the client. They're, thanking them, being that warm, friendly person that they can talk to. And it's like, wow, they actually just, reached out. This isn't like a call to do a consultation right off the bat. This is just simply someone, your secretary, admin, whoever. Hey, thanks for getting this thing. Do you mind if I just ask you a couple questions about your project? We will set you up with such and such, and you kind of build them up. Like, they're very knowledgeable and they'll give you a great, consultation as far as the next steps and everything. Create a standard folder and file for that client so all the information goes in there, and just keep everything in place. Now, if you want to really level up and have amazing systems behind your social media that saves times and makes it just like 100 times more easier, we have a rapid lead CRM system. Even if you don't use ours, find a program that can help put out social media content and schedule it. With the rapid lead CRM, you can create content there. It's got AI built into it, so you can generate AI photos and text write-ups, all that kind of stuff. You can schedule the content. Different people from your organization can log in. They can see what's going out. You can always go back, and you can integrate as well with all the other systems. So use a nice, good quality CRM. And again, reach out to us if you need help with that. By this point, you understand how to get leads through social media, but you still don't know how to increase your profit and scale your company. So watch this free masterclass because it has all the information you need to grow your company this year. See you in the next video.